Hey, what's up, guys? I just came across a very, very interesting interview. Let's see, it is titled Chris Weidman almost moved back into parents' basement before UFC 210. This is done by MMA Fighting on SBN here on YouTube. He is interviewed by Ariel Helwani. Okay. As a gambler, I look at and I listen to any and every bit of information to help me make decisions when it comes to placing wagers. You know, I want to know what's going on with these guys. I want to know any and every bit of information I can get, whether it's training camp, personal life, mental state, whatever I can get. I want to know what's going on with these guys. Okay. Now, I want to go back a little ways. Okay. Chris Weidman was the undefeated UFC middleweight champion. He beat Anderson Silva twice. I believe he defended his title twice against Machida and Belfort. And then he came across Luke Rockhold, the guy who I consider to be the best middleweight in the world. Um, yeah, he may still be, but he has not fought since he got knocked out. So I don't know where he is right now. I know he's been hurt, but Weidman, he got finished by Rockhold. He got stopped. You know, that was a bad loss for Chris Weidman. I know that had to be a blow to his ego. He had been supposedly training very hard because he knew Luke was going to be a tough challenge. So he loses that fight. Then he deals with another injury. He had to have a neck surgery, I believe, in which he has had several injuries throughout his career. All right, so he lost the rematch opportunity with Luke, and then Bisping got it. So he missed out on that. All right, being a New Yorker, Chris Weidman was heavily pushing for New York to legalize MMA so he could fight at MSG. I mean, he was a big player in getting that passed. You know, he was pushing for that big time. It was his dream to fight at MSG. Okay, so he gets his dream, and what happens? He gets knocked out by Yoel Romero in the middle of MSG in the third round. He takes a devastating flying knee that cracks his head open and he's bleeding all over MSG. Okay, another terrible moment for Chris Weidman. He suffers his second loss in a row, and you know that had another big blow to his heart and ego. When he had pushed for MMA to be legalized in New York, and he was fulfilling a dream of fighting at MSG. All right, now let's get to this interview. I have not seen the countdown yet, so I don't know what was said in it. I will be watching that after I do this video, and if there is anything in that that I need to add to this video, you will see an additional part. Okay, but uh, Chris Weidman in this interview with Ariel Helwani says that he was watching Rocky 3 with his wife and his kids. He has 3 kids. Okay. They were watching Rocky 3, and as he watched the movie, he got this terrible feeling because he felt that he was Rocky. He was the guy who had achieved a lot of success, living in a big house, had money, and he felt that he was Rocky. Maybe he had lost something, that he needed to get his edge back. So what does Weidman do? He packs up bags. He's gonna go move back into his parents' basement. All right, and according to him in this interview, which I will try to post a link to in the comment sections for you to see for yourself, he's on his way to his parents' house, and then he he has another emotional reaction where he's like, "What am I doing? Am I making a mistake?" He breaks down. He feels like he's leaving his family, the people that he's been with, his motivation to get to this point. So he turns around and goes back home. All right. He had his mind made up to leave home to get the edge back. Then he changes his mind and he goes back home. So what is his solution? His solution is to let me get him back on the screen here. His solution is I'm gonna go stay in the guest room at home. The wife is going to take care of the kids basically. She's gonna handle all those responsibilities. I'm gonna get to stay to myself. I'm around my family. I'm around my wife and kids, but I get to stay to myself in the guest room and focus on me, read books, etc., train, and not deal with, as he said, his own words, the burden of the kids. Okay, so at this point, guys, I have to ask: is Chris Weidman mentally gone? Is he a broken man? These are legit questions to ask. Where is his head going to be in this fight? He is on the verge of being on a three-fight losing streak. He said in this interview that this is a crossroads fight for him. This is a major deal. This does not sound like the mindset. I would not want to be placing a wager on a guy who is mentally all over the place like this. 1 minute he's rocking, he needs to leave home to get the eye of Tiger back. Then as he's trying to get the eye of Tiger back, going back to his parents' basement, he changes his mind. He mentally breaks down. He gets emotional, goes back home, and then he's in his guest room to get the edge, to get the eye of Tiger. You know, I tell you, man, I would not be placing a wager on Chris Weidman. I would not be recommending it. I said weeks ago that I was playing Mousasi in this fight, and Mousasi has the experience advantage over Chris Weidman, and apparently he has the mental advantage too because I am not seeing or hearing Gegard Mousasi say such things about his mental state, about uh, needing to move into a parent's basement, all these issues. I saw Gigar Mousasi on UFC Embedded driving around his BMW and seeming to be happy with life. Okay, playing video games with his friends. He is not feeling guilty about his success. All right. So I think this is huge, guys. I remember Luke Rockhold being on Chris Weidman's ass before they fought about him having these possible distractions with the kids. And Rockhold was like, "Look, I don't have to deal with that. I can focus on me. Weidman, you're the one who has to wake up in the middle of the night and tend to a child." And now it appears that Rockhold he hit the nail on the head. Weidman was contemplating getting away from his wife and kids. So guys, I think this is a terrible sign for Weidman. Like I said, I would not place, and people are putting money on Weidman. He was an even money underdog, and now the odds it's almost at pick'em odds now. Mousasi is still a slight favorite, but you know it's very close to pick 'em now. Both of them you're gonna get less than even money on. So I would not advise putting money on Weidman, man. This is a big red flag. Mousasi has experience advantage already. It looks like he has a height advantage and probably reach advantage too, from what I saw at this stare down. So I tell you guys, I just want to point this out to you guys, man. I'm about to watch the countdown portion for Weidman and Mousasi. If there's anything in that I see, you will be hearing me talk about it in a few seconds, and I will add it to this video. If not, I did not see anything, and you guys can let me know what you think about this. But big red flag as a gambler, guys. I look out for these things, and this is terrible for Weidman, and it is a positive for people who put money on Gegard Mousasi. Thanks for watching.